The first business that I bought went horrible. It was absolutely terrible, and I'm so lucky that it ended up working out. A little over 3 years ago, I bought my first business. I was a year into my existing business, and things were going really well, and I had a great intent. I knew that in order for my business to scale, we can scale faster if we go acquire other companies. So I own an insurance agency, Wexford Insurance, and we saw that there was another agency for sale. And I wanted to buy another agency so bad. I was so emotional, and I wanted to buy a business because I just liked the word acquisition. I was like, I'm an entrepreneur. I should be buying businesses. I believe in this. I'm gonna do it. Okay? And I was so excited and so emotional, but I made 5. I had 5 reasons why it went horrible. Okay, and since then we've had successful acquisitions. We know what we're doing, but we had to learn what not to do, and we learned the hard way. The business is still profitable today. It cash flows. The loan that we had on it, we paid off the loan. Everything is going perfectly fine, and it has cash flowed, but it could have cash flowed more, and we probably could have had a better ROI if we would have looked out for some of these things that could really just derail an entire acquisition. So today I'm going to give you 5 reasons that acquisition went south and 5 things that you need to pay attention to when you're buying a business. And I'm also going to tell you about a webinar that I'm going to have where I'm going to teach you a 2-hour webinar. I'm going to teach you how to buy a business with no money down. I bought this first business. I think we acquired it for a little under $400,000, and I only paid like $30,000 down. Okay, I probably should have paid nothing. Should have paid nothing down. Okay, and since then we've acquired businesses without having to put any money down, and it has just added to our cash flow. So I will tell you how to do that in this hour or 2-hour webinar. The first hour, I'm going to go through how you would do it. In the second hour, it's going to be interactive. You're going to be asking questions. Okay, I'm going to talk more about that in a second, so stay tuned. Okay, so the 5 reasons it went horrible. Reason number one, I was too emotional. Okay, I wanted to buy a business so bad that I was so blinded to what actually made sense for our business. I didn't really have an ideal type of business that I wanted to buy. What do I want it to be doing now? Do I want somebody to be retiring? What is my prospective business that I'm going to buy even look like, right? When you're going out and you're looking for a girlfriend or you're looking for a boyfriend, you probably have an idea who you want to date. You have an idea who you want to marry. It should be the same thing in business. I had no dating standards whatsoever. I would take anybody on a date, and that is a dangerous game, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I was way too emotional. You have to be unemotional in business so you can actually look at things and say, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. Okay, number 2, the reason I needed to figure out, I never determined the reason why that individual was selling his business or her business, whoever it was. Okay, there's a reason why someone's selling their business. And the reason why is so important, okay? Some of the best businesses to buy are when an owner is retiring. In my situation, the individual was not retiring. That person's excuse was, I don't really want to scale it. I'm at a point where I'm going to have to hire somebody, and I don't want to hire somebody, so I just thought it made more sense to sell. Okay? Obviously, most people would say that's kind of a red flag. Again, when you're emotional and you want to buy a business so bad and you don't know what you don't know, you're just like, oh, okay. So the reason why that person was selling was not a good reason. I should have dove in deeper. What's the real reason? I ended up finding out what the real reason was, and it wasn't very good, okay? So if you don't find the real reason before the sale, you will find out the real reason after the sale, okay? So you need to find out, why is that person selling? And is that reason a good reason? Because you wouldn't just give up a profitable, good business for nothing. There's got to be something going on. So you got to find the reason. So that's my mistake. I didn't find out the reason. Number 3, I trusted the seller way too much. I did minimal due diligence. So what due diligence is I'm going to buy your business, and I'm going to look over all your accounts, all your paperwork, everything you have in order. I'm going to audit everything. Audit the bank statements, audit everything I possibly can. In my industry, every client has a file. Every client should have an application signed, all these things. I didn't look over those things. I trusted that the person who told me, yeah, it's all in there. Horrible. I don't know why I made the mistake. Because I was emotional. Because I wanted to buy a business so bad. Because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Okay, I trusted it. After I bought the business, started looking at the files, no applications for some clients. We had to go out and spend 3 months getting applications. We had to go spend 3 months doing all this stuff because we weren't smart enough to go do the due diligence beforehand. Okay, due diligence is the most important thing. If you can understand everything in the business, everything is there, all the paperwork's there, it's all legitimate, then the next step is easy. Due diligence should be the hardest part about buying a business. So I didn't do any due diligence. And now when we go into a business that we're going to buy, we fact check everything. It is a methodical approach because we know what happened before and we do not want to go down that road again. Number 4, we did not verify vendor relationships. Whatever business you're in, they work with other businesses. In my industry, it's insurance companies. I work with multiple insurance companies. Anybody buying my business should call those insurance companies and make sure my business is in good standing with those insurance companies. We didn't do that. We said, hey, are you in good standing with your insurance companies? And then you can understand how that question was answered, okay? So what I'm trying to say is don't trust the seller, okay? We trusted the seller so much. That's one of the biggest mistakes we made there was we did not verify those relationships. You need to verify client relationships, vendor relationships, supplier relationships, whatever relationships that business has externally. You need to call those people and vet the business that you're buying. This is the same thing if you're going to hire somebody, right? Let's say you're going to hire somebody for your company and you're going to hire a CFO for $150,000 or $200,000. Very expensive position, right? High paying position. You're going to call their references and you're going to say, hey, what is going on? How did John work in the past? Did he do good? Like, what was one thing he struggled with? You're going to call these people to make sure that John is who he says he is. It's the same thing for a business. You need to understand, hey, what is this business in the marketplace? Is there a red flag? Is there something that I should be paying attention to that I'm not? You're fact checking the vendor relationships, and this gives you an external point of view from somebody who has no skin in the game. They don't care. They're going to tell you the truth. They're going to say, hey, I do not like doing business with you guys. I do business with somebody else now. And then you're like, okay, what happened? So there's so many different things that can be involved with vendor relationships and external when you can call those partnerships. And don't tell the owner you're calling them before you can. Try to find a way to get a hold of them without. Number 5, one of the most important things, we did not take our time. We wanted to buy a business so bad. I wanted to get it acquired. I wanted to get it acquired by this date. We also got pressure from the person selling the business, their broker, their business broker, and we got pressured and we got sped into it. When you get pushed into something and they shorten the timeline, it doesn't allow you to think. Okay? It doesn't allow you to really go through all the due diligence. It doesn't allow you to make sure you're getting all the boxes checked, make sure that you have everything in place, make sure that this is the right acquisition for you. And that person was pushing it along. They said, hey, we had multiple people who submitted offers, all that bull crap, right? When you're buying a business, it should be on your timeline. If your timeline is too slow, then that business is not a business you should buy. Now, I do make a caveat there. You should want to do everything you can as fast as possible because there's another side to that. If you take 9 months to buy a business, but the owner is ready to sell 3 months before you even talk to him, that's a whole year that owner was probably not working very hard in the business. So there's a yin and yang to this, okay? You don't want to go too slow because when I want to retire, when I'm like in my 60s, I'm probably not working very hard. This means the business is not really growing. No one's growing the business. So you're going to want to make sure you acquire that business very quickly, but within a timeline that's reasonable for you to understand all the due diligence, verify those vendor relationships, agree on a purchase price, and negotiate a purchase price, okay? So that's one thing. We sped up the process so much we didn't even have time to realize that we weren't doing some of these things that we should have done. Okay, so these are just the 5 reasons. There's so many other things that we've learned by buying businesses, so many nuances that I will tell you today. Please learn from my mistakes. And this is what this webinar is going to be. Okay, I'm going to call it the Acquire Webinar. I am here to help you acquire a business. Okay, there's I think there's over 50 to 70 million businesses in America. Okay, the average age of a business owner, look it up, is over 54 years old. This means that all these people, all these business owners, more than half of them, over 20 to 30 million businesses, are going into retirement soon. Okay, this means there's a massive opportunity. I talk about starting businesses on my page, but a bigger opportunity may be right now for you to go buy a business because an owner is looking to retire. Their son or their daughter does not want to take over the business. You'd be surprised. I work with business owners all day. We have thousands of business owners that we work with on my insurance company, and none of their kids want to take over their business. They are literally looking for people. I could probably connect you to multiple people who are looking to buy businesses. Anyways, I'm going to show you in this 2-hour webinar. This webinar is going to be $297, and it's $297 is 2 hours. The first hour, I'm going to go through specifically how you're going to approach these people to potentially buy their business, how you're going to structure a deal where you pay no money out of your own pocket, okay? You're going to structure a deal where you pay no money out of your own pocket, and you're going to be able to have a better understanding of which business to approach, which businesses to avoid buying, which ones you should avoid. And we're going to narrow down in the second hour specifically to you. We're going to limit this to 10 seats. Only 10 people can come, okay? 10 people only, because I want to make sure that we get you to that next level. When you leave this webinar, you will have a track of what you're going to do to acquire that next business, okay? So those 10 seats, the second hour, I'm going to go specifically individual with you. And I'm going to say, tell me about your background. What are you doing now? Let's narrow down 3 businesses, 3 business types that we're going to go through to go target to acquire. Okay? Not everyone's going to have the same 3, right? We all have different skills. We all have different personalities. I can tell pretty quickly from your personality and a little bit of background from you what business you should go try to buy. Because certain businesses require certain personalities, some require others. If you're an engineer, I'm not going to recommend that you go do a business that requires a lot of sales face-to-face. That's not a good business for you to buy. Or engineering, we need to make sure you're in a business that you can easily go navigate the systems and make it better. So we're going to make sure we find somebody who's looking to retire because you can come in and implement systems and grow that business. So the whole point of this, of buying a business, is you're taking somebody who has an existing business, existing client base, and we're saying, hey, let's implement some growth strategy in here, bring some vibrance, bring some youth, bring some excitement, and grow the business, okay? So you're going to learn from my mistakes. You're going to learn from my mistakes, and you're going to be able to leave this webinar with a toolbox of what you're going to go after, how you're going to structure the deal, how you're going to find the businesses, and then how you're going to have conversations to go close these businesses. And I want to continue to stay involved. So as this webinar goes through and we go through it, hey, we're going to keep this relationship open. I want to see you guys be successful, okay? So this webinar, $297, that may be a lot of money to some people, but I'm going to tell you that the price, the $297, is nothing compared to what you can make from making this small investment so you can learn how to go buy businesses. You go buy a business, you can get out of your dead-end job, get out of somebody else telling you when you can go on vacation, get out of never being able to build wealth. You build wealth by buying businesses, you build wealth by building businesses. And if you haven't found a good business idea that's scalable, that's sellable, that's growable, that you can actually run from anywhere, then why the heck would you not take this opportunity and say, hey, maybe starting a business isn't the route for me. Maybe finding a business that has an owner that's ready to get out, that I can structure it with no money out of my own pocket, grow the business, then resell it or grow it and continue to make tons of money, okay? That's what I've done, okay? I've taken my business and grown it so much over the last 2 years because of the strategies I've implemented, and you can do the same thing in a business that you can buy, take it that already has revenue and grow it. So this $297, there's going to be a link in the bio below. Click on the link and then it'll send you to my website where you can sign up for this webinar. Okay. Again, we're limiting this webinar to 10 seats, $297, small investment for the returns that you're going to get. And as always, if you have any questions or you want to see more videos about how to buy businesses, how to grow businesses, and implementing business ideas, maybe you're looking for a business idea, side hustles, whatever, please like and subscribe.